Hey everyone, it's Alice, and I have what might be the greatest charity shop haul ever for you today. So if you've watched this channel before, you all know that I am a huge fan of charity shopping and thrift shopping and finding secondhand books for ridiculously cheap prices. And today I had my stock take at work and I was a little bit stressed and exhausted on the walk home, so I thought I would pop in the charity shop, and it is like the bookish gods aligned to give me the best charity shopping experience I have legitimately ever had. So I thought I would come straight home and I would show them off to Sean, and then I would show them off to you and get all excited about them. So the other fun thing about this channel is that we are trying to unhaul a book for every book we haul this year. And I am throwing the equilibrium vastly towards the hauling. So we're going to have to do a big unhaul within the next few weeks because things do be getting ridiculous. We do not have enough space for these books, but the prices were amazing. So I grabbed them and I'm going to show them to you and get excited with you. And then hopefully find something that I can unhaul later today. So, without further ado, let me show you the amazing stack of books that I have just purchased. First up, we have The Binding by Bridget Collins. This is the exclusive edition with the sprayed pages. I don't know whether the end papers are rare or not, but this also has foiling on the front and the back of the dust jacket, which is really stunning. I can't really remember much about The Binding. I think I saw Gavin talking about it on How to Train Your Gavin. Imagine you could erase your grief. Imagine you could forget your pain. Imagine you could hide a secret forever. So as far as I can remember, this is a book about books. It's a library, and it's kind of literary fiction, a bit magical. It sounds like something I would enjoy, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. So for £2.50, you can't go wrong. We also have Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge. This is a US hardback, so it was quite surprising to find it in a charity shop in the UK. This is just the standard edition, but I've had this on my want to read list on Goodreads basically since I started a Goodreads account. Goodreads recommended this book to me. I thought it sounded really interesting. It's a retelling. She was trained for 17 years to kill him, raised by her world to despise him, willing to trade her own life to destroy him, but what she never expected was that he would change her forever. And this is a debut novel, obviously a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Sounds very interesting, and it was only £2, so obviously because I've wanted to read it for so long, snapped this up. We then have another series I've been interested in reading for quite a long time, and that is Hexed and Charmed by Michelle Chris. Again, I don't think these have been published in the UK, please correct me if I'm wrong, but these are again American editions, so very surprised to find them in a UK charity shop. They have this Under the Dust Jacket alternate cover, which is really cool. That's on Hex. I don't know if Charmed has one. It does. So that's really cool and funky. So you can have these without the dust jackets on if you want to. But the dust jackets themselves are like kind of sparkly, shimmery, very metallic, which is cool. I can't remember anything about them really. I know that they are witches. A Stolen Book, A Deadly Plan, A Destiny Discovered, and then the second one is Charmed and Dangerous. Statistics say if you don't find a missing person within 48 hours, they're likely dead. It's been 16 days. So I'm guessing somebody in the first book goes missing, and then the second book is going to be dealing with the fact that they have disappeared. But these were £2.50 each, and I'm highly interested in them. So again, happy to pick those up. And then we get to the bits that I'm really, really super duper pumped to show you, because this whole bag from here on is full of Fairyloot editions. And I don't know who in Swindon has been donating this many Fairyloot editions, but it's ones that I didn't have and ones that I wanted to own. So they're mine now. And I'm going to show you them all. I will tell you what we paid for each of them. And then if Sean decides that we shouldn't share how much we spent on these, he can edit that out. But I'll share it just in case. But I'm super excited about this because it's the first time I've ever found a Fairyloot or an Illumicrate exclusive edition in a charity shop. And to find lots that I didn't have that were from before I subscribed, back when I had the FOMO and I was looking at everybody's unboxings and just feeling so sad that I wasn't subscribed yet. It's super duper awesome that I managed to find these. So I'm very happy, which is why I thought I would share with you today. So let's do this. First up we have Nocturna by Maya Montaigne. This is a debut novel. This is blue sprayed edges. Not signed? Yes, signed. It is signed. And this is a Fairyloot exclusive cover. So normally the cover is orange, but Fairyloot changed the cover so it was blue. Maria para todos, magic for all. To Finny and Voy, magic is two things: a knife to hold under the throat of anyone who crosses her, and a disguise she shrugs on as easily as others pull on cloaks. As a talented face shifter, it's been years since Finn has seen her own face, and that's exactly how she likes it. But when she gets caught by a powerful monster, she's forced into an impossible mission. Steal a legendary treasure from Castellan's royal palace or be stripped of her magic forever. To Prince Alfair, magic is an escape, but one that comes with a price. First in line for the throne after the disappearance of his older brother, Alfie is desperate to find him and bring him home, even if it means dabbling in forbidden magic. And when Finn and Alfie's fates collide, they realise magic can be other things too, and the type they accidentally release into the world is something neither of them expects or understands. It's hungry. It sounds so good, and I don't remember seeing anybody talking about this, so I'm really surprised that I haven't heard more about this. But this was £8, and again, signed, Fairyloot exclusive, with these gorgeous blue sprayed edges. Happy to pay £8. Next up we have Incendiary by Zoraida Cordova. This is the first book in a series. This has the bright red sprayed edges. It also has the author letter that came with the original box. It is signed by Zoraida. I've thrown the author letter across the room. I'm going to try and find out the artists for all of these books, if they have any, for example, under the dust jacket artwork. We're going to try to do what we normally do and pop any artist credits up on the screen, so you'll be able to look up the artists and find out who has illustrated these, even though we don't have the information with us. If there are any that we can't find, we will have left it blank, so if you have any of these books or have had any of these books in the past, then please let us know if you can remember who the artists are. So I'll read out the blurb for this one for you quickly. Renata was only a child when she was kidnapped by the Crown. As a memory thief, the rarest and most feared of the magical Moria, she was used to carry out the King's wrath, a siege that resulted in the deaths of thousands of her own people. Now Renata is one of the Whispers, a rebel spy working against the Crown. When Des, her commander, and the boy she's grown to love, is taken captive by the notorious Principe Dorado, Renata must return to the palace and complete his top-secret mission herself. Can she keep her cover, even as she burns for vengeance against the brutal, enigmatic prince? Her life and the fate of Moria depend on it. But returning to the palace stirs memories long locked away. As Renata grows more deeply embedded in the royal court, she uncovers a secret that could change the fate of the entire kingdom and end the war that has cost her everything. I do have the Owlcrate edition of this one, but I didn't really like the cover, so I have been thinking about unhauling it recently, mostly because I was going to keep an eye out for the Fairyloot edition being cheap online. So this is perfect. We then have Woven in Moonlight by Isabel Ibanez. I was looking at getting this one in the last Fairy Trove restock, but I changed my mind at the last minute. Forgot to say, Incendiary was £10. I changed my mind at the last minute about getting this one. I'm not sure why, because I was still interested in it. I think it's just because they didn't do the sequel, and at that point I was thinking it would probably be better to not have more series that I couldn't have matching. But in all honesty, all Fairyloot really did was flip the colour on the cover. So the original cover on this one is black and Fairyloot made it grey. And I think it's such a gorgeous cover. Like, you've got the little llama on the back, the animals on the front. And this one again is signed with this really adorable tip-in sheet. It's so freaking cute. And then we have the embossed moon and stars on the front cover as well. And some lovely under the dust jacket artwork. And I was kind of kicking myself for not picking it up at the time, so I'm really, really grateful that we managed to find it today, especially because it was only £8. And on the Fairy Trove, I'm pretty sure it was 17, so I've saved myself some money on this one. A lush tapestry of magic, romance, and revolution, drawing inspiration from Bolivian politics and history. Ximena is the decoy Condessa, standing for the last remaining Illustrian royal. Her people lost everything when the usurper, Atok, used an ancient relic to summon ghosts and drive the Illustrians from Laquidad. Now, Ximena's motivated by her insatiable thirst for revenge and her rare ability to spin thread from moonlight. When Atok demands the real Contessa's hand in marriage, it's Ximena's duty to go in her stead. She relishes the chance, as Illustrian spies have reported that Atok's no longer carrying his deadly relic. If Ximena can find it, she can return the true aristocrata to their rightful place. She hunts for the relic using her weaving ability to hide messages in tapestries for the resistance. But when a masked vigilante, a warm-hearted princessa, and a thoughtful healer challenges Ximena, her mission becomes more complicated. There could be a way to overthrow the usurper without starting another war, but only if Ximena turns her back on revenge and her Condessa. So, it sounds like a very interesting one, kind of very political. Oh, the title is ever so slightly raised on the dust jacket, and it's just so nice because I'm a very tactile person. But yes, it sounds like it's going to be very political, very intriguing, a mix with the magic and the political. I like that. So excited to read that one. We then have, We then have Heart of Thorns by Brie Barton. This one was £10. It has the beautiful red sprayed edges. It has the lovely signature page, and nothing under the dust jacket, because this was quite an early one from I can remember. I can remember seeing this on J.D. Ray Reid's channel, either as a these books will self-destruct in 12 months, or as one that she was just unhauling. And I can remember being really interested in the cover and thinking, oh my gosh, how could she get rid of it? It looks so lovely. So, glad to find this one. Mia Rose wants only one thing: revenge against the Gurak who killed her mother. In a world where only women can possess magic and every woman is suspected of having it, the half-girl, half-god Gurak are feared, reviled, and hunted. After training under her father and his infamous hunters, Mia is determined to scour the four kingdoms and enact the hunter's creed: heart for a heart, life for a life. But then her father announces a quite different future. She will marry Prince Quinn, heir to the throne. Just like that, smart, headstrong Mia is thrust into the last role she ever wanted: pretty wifely bauble to the future king. So on the eve of her wedding, Mia plots a daring escape, only to discover the unimaginable. She has magic. She may be a huntress, but she's also a Gurak. As the truth comes to light, Mia must untangle the secrets of her own past. Friends darken into foes and logic begins to fray, as do the rules she has always played by. If Mia wants to survive, she must learn to trust her heart, even if it kills her. I'm so very interested. It sounds like a really interesting kind of feminist fantasy, and I love the whole, like, people getting married into things and then being like, no, I'm just going to flee my wedding and heck you and your marriage. I love those kind of stories, so that one's going to be really interesting. We then have Star Daughter by Shweta Thakrar. I did haul the Alquate version of this a couple of years ago now, and I still haven't read it, but it's gorgeous. It's the Fairyloot edition. It's got the gold sprayed pages and the gold, and I kind of think I like the gold more than the purple and silver, but I will decide, because I don't need both. But it was only £7 and I wanted it, so here we are. I have the author letter on this one as well, so again we will try to find the artist for that one. We have the signed end papers there. We also have this gorgeous Under the Dust Jacket artwork, which is just so beautiful. Very, very stunning. And the blurb for this one is... oh, also the starry end papers. Very cute on the back there. If the night sky holds many secrets, it holds Sheetal Mistress' secret the closest. A secret that explains why her hair is the silver of starlight, or why some nights the stars call Sheetal by name. Stars like her mother, who returned to her place in the constellation Pusher years ago. Since that day, Sheetal has been forced to hide. But as her 17th birthday draws near, the pull from the sky is growing stronger. So strong that Sheetal loses control and a flare of starfire burns her human father, an injury only a full star's blood can heal. Sheetal has no choice but to answer the star song and ascend to the sky, but her celestial family has summoned her for a reason: to act as their human champion in a competition to decide the next ruling house of the heavens. Desperate to save her father, Sheetal agrees, but nothing could have prepared Sheetal to face the star's dark history or the forces that are working to shut the gate between the realms for good. I can remember this one being super duper hyped when it came out, and I haven't really heard much about it since, but I did see a lot of love for it at the time that it was released. So I'm hoping that this one lives up to my expectations, and to be honest, if it does, I'm not mad about owning 2 absolutely stunning editions of this. So I could justify £7 on that one. We then have The Bright and the Pale by Jessica Rubinkowski. I think I subscribed to Fairyloot the month after they did this one. So this has the art card with the author letter on the back again. We have the signed end papers, we have the little foiling on the dust jacket, and we have the under the dust jacket artwork. I have looked at buying this one second hand, and it's always been a little bit too pricey for me, because it's normally up towards like the £20–30 mark, but this was only £7, so I'm happy with that. And again, like, I bought these from a Prospect Hospice charity shop, so all of the money does go to charity, and it goes to helping really good causes. So I'll be honest, I could just justify it based off of that. But this also has these blue shimmery sprayed edges, so I'll read you the blurb on this one. 17-year-old Valeria is one of the only survivors of the freeze, a dark, magical hold not mountain unleashed on her village. Everyone, including her family, is trapped in an unbreakable sheet of ice, ever since she's been on the run from the Tsar, who is determined to imprison anyone who managed to escape. Valeria finds refuge with the Thieves' Guild, doing odd jobs with her best friend Alec, the only piece of home she has left. That is, until he is brutally murdered. A year later, she discovers Alec is alive and being held against his will. To buy his freedom, she must lead a group of cutthroats and thieves on a perilous expedition to the very mountain that claimed her family, only something sinister slumbers in the heart of Nott, and it has waited years for release. Inspired by Russian folklore, Jessica Rubinkowski's epic fantasy debut is a thrilling page-turner with romance, tragedy, magic, and monsters that will stay with you to the very end. I've got a feeling Fairyloot recently announced that they were doing a sequel to this one, so the likelihood is I will not be able to get hold of that for a reasonable price, because I can imagine that it's already sold out and the resale value is going to be insane. But I'm looking forward to reading this one anyway, and I really, really love that shimmery metallic cover. It's just so beautiful. It's just so stunning. I was so interested in this one. Then we have another one that I was also very excited about, which is This Girl Will Flame by Emily Victoria. This was, again, within a couple of months before I managed to subscribe. And this has this gorgeous art card with the author letter on the back. And this has the red sprayed pages. And my favourite thing about it, I think it was the first one that they did with it. Ooh! We also have the bookmark in here for this one. It has the wheeling under the dust jacket that shows one of the characters. I think, if I'm right, this was the first time Fairyloot had ever done this. Because I know that they do it fairly regularly now, but I think this was the first example that they had of it, and I absolutely love it. I think it's one of my favourite customisations on the books because it's so unique. And this also has the under the dust jacket artwork, which is very beautiful and has like a completely different feel to the original cover. So this is another one that I had looked at getting online, but it was just a bit too expensive for me to justify it. And again, of course, it is signed, so we'll read you the blurb for this one. And I've just realised that my sound hasn't been recording this whole time, so we'll stop there. And if I need to re-record anything later, I shall. Aww. We are hopefully back to decent sound now, so I will read out the blurb for this one for you. Orphaned and forced to serve her country's ruling group of scribes, Caris wants nothing more than to find her brother, long ago shipped away. But family bonds don't matter to the scriptorium, whose sole focus is unlocking the magic of an ancient automaton army. Automaton? I'm never going to be able to pronounce that properly. In her search for her brother, Caris does the seemingly impossible. She awakens a hidden automaton. Intelligent with a conscience of his own, Alex has no idea where he was made or why his father, their nation's greatest traitor, once tried to destroy the automatons. Suddenly the scriptorium isn't just trying to control Caris, it's hunting her. Together with Alex, Caris must find her brother and the secret that's held her country in its power for centuries. And again, this one really, really interests me. I haven't really seen much about it since it was featured. Like, I saw everybody talking about it when it first came out, especially because of the gorgeous customisations on this one. But I've still been really, really interested in it, and I'm looking forward to reading it. I'm feeling so excited about all of these. She says, feeling excited about every single book she hauls ever and still not having enough mental capacity to read. But we'll pretend that's not true and we'll move on to the next one, which is Master of One by Jida Jones and Danny Bennett. Welcome to the Queen City, a terrible place to live, an excellent place to die. This one was also only £7, but it's signed by 2 authors, so that's pretty impressive. And it has the shimmery red sprayed pages as well, and it has this really metallic-y cover. I've got a feeling this one is still available on the Fairy Trove, because I had looked at getting this one as well, because I mean, low-key, I would love to eventually own every single book Fairyloot have done, because I love their customizations and their book picks, and I think they're really cool, but, like, that is a pipe dream that will never happen, because I'm not a bazillionaire, but low-key want to, which is why I think I'm so excited about the fact that I've actually found some of the older ones. Like, what a surprise! I couldn't believe it when I walked into the charity shop. This has the lovely foiled leaves under the dust jacket. We have some under the dust jacket artwork of the character stood with like a really big snaky lizard thing. He's cool. Now we'll read out the blurb for this one. We will teach you all about these books today. Da, 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 da. Life in the Queen City isn't easy, especially for a 2-bit thief like Rags. When his latest score goes sideways, he's nabbed by Royal Sorcerer Morian the Last, who forces him to steal the 6 pieces of an immeasurably powerful ancient Fey relic. Rags is still determined to somehow get away unscathed until he discovers that the relics Morian is after are actually people. A distractingly handsome Fey prince who has been asleep for centuries, a Queen's Guard deserter with more honour than common sense, a daughter of a disgraced noble family who hits first and asks questions later, a deceptively sweet-natured prince, a member of the underground resistance neither trusting nor trustworthy, and him. Rags. There's no way they can let Morian enact his dark plans, but 6 misfits against an exceptionally wicked enemy doesn't make for generous odds. Luckily, Rags is not generous, he's smart, and he has a plan that just might work. I'm so interested in this. Like, he is one of the relics that he needs to discover. Yeah, he's literally trying to like kidnap himself. That concept just interests me so much. I don't know how it's gonna work out, but like again, for £7 for a very shimmery spray edition with very fancy artwork and 2 signatures, I'm not gonna say no. So I'm interested. We have 3 more left for you today. We have A River of Royal Blood by Amanda Joy. This one was only £5, which is nice. Has the black sprayed edges. It is signed. It has nothing under the dust jacket because, again, I think it's quite an early one. This says, 16-year-old Eva is a princess, born with the magic of blood and marrow, a dark and terrible magic that hasn't been seen for generations in the vibrant but fractured country of Maya. Its last known practitioner was Queen Rhaena, who toppled the native Chimera royalty and massacred thousands, including her own sister, 5 generations ago, thus beginning the rival heir tradition. Living in Rhaena's long and dark shadow, Eva must now face her older sister Alyce on her 17th name day in a battle to the death if she hopes to ascend to the Ivory Throne, because in the Kingdom of Maya only the strongest, most ruthless ruler survives. But when Eva is attacked by an assassin just weeks before her name day, she discovers it isn't just her sister who wants to see her dead. Eva is forced to turn to a powerful Fey instructor and a mysterious and handsome Chimera prince for help in growing her magic into something to fear, because despite the love she still has for her sister, Eva will have to choose Alyce's death or her own. I'm so interested. I love the sound of this one. I got a feeling this one has a sequel, but Fairyloot didn't do it, so I'm going to have to look into that. But it definitely sounds like exactly the kind of thing that I would really love. And it was £5, and it's signed and it's sprayed edges. Like, what? That's such a good price. We then have one that I've low-key bought for my friend. I don't know if he's going to be interested in it, but I already have this edition, so I have bought it with him in mind, because I think he's probably going to want this one. And it's Witches Steeped in Gold by Shannon Smart. I got the Fairyloot edition of this last year, and I read it and I loved it. Well, loved it. I had issues with the editing rather than the writing, and I was interested enough that I have bought the sequel, so I will be reading the second one. But I've mentioned it to my friend and I think he's interested in reading it, so I'm going to see if he wants this edition. It was only £10 and it's got the fancy stenciled sprayed edges, and obviously with them doing the sequel as well, like, this is going to be probably worth more once the sequels come out. It is somewhere in here, signed, and it also has the exclusive hard, like, under the dust jacket, and we have the end paper artwork as well. End paper artwork? What am I going on about? The under the dust jacket artwork too. And it also comes with the author letter with the art card. Obviously I'll be able to put all of the information for this one up because I do have this one. I'm not going to read out the blurb for this one because if you've been on my channel before, you will have heard my thoughts on this one because I have read this already, and I've talked about it a fair amount in the past. But I'll be talking about the sequel soon when it comes out. So expect to see more about Witches Steeped in Gold in the near future. And then last but not least, when I discovered all of these, I phoned Sean and I said, "Sup, how much am I allowed to spend on books?" And he was like, "As much as you need to," which is the right answer. Thank you, honey. And so I did. Hence the fact I've spent £100 on books today. But they all would have been worth more, and if I bought the boxes themselves, then that would have been like £30 a box, so I would have only got 3 of these, so I'm fine. I'm fine with the fact that I've spent £100 on these, I don't even care. But when he said that, if he had said I could only get one, this was the one I was going to pick. This is the one I'm most excited about, because it's Fable by Adrienne Young, and it has the beautiful blue sparkly edges, and I love it. It's got the exclusive cover, which is so stunning. The normal cover has like a human face on it, and I don't really like faces on covers, so the illustration I love. It is signed on the beautiful tip-in page. It has nothing under the dust jacket. I could have sworn that it did, but I'm excited because it's so blue and shimmery, and I really, really wish I'd bought Namesake now because they did the sequel to this and I didn't get it because I was like, well, I don't have the first one, and now I do. But I can just keep an eye out because if I'm going to find this in a charity shop, who knows what I will find next. So this was £15. This was the most expensive one, but it makes the most sense because this is the one that has the highest resale value. It's definitely the one that's most in demand out of all of these. And it's definitely the one that I've heard the best things about. So this is the one I'm most excited that I've found. And it says, Trader, Fighter, Survivor. As the daughter of the most powerful trader in the Narrows, the sea is the only home 17-year-old Fable has ever known. It's been 4 years since her father abandoned her on a legendary island filled with thieves and little food. To survive, she must keep to herself, learn to trust no one, and rely on the unique skills her mother taught her. The only thing that keeps her going is the goal of getting off the island, finding her father, and demanding her rightful place beside him and his crew. To do so, Fable enlists the help of a young trader named West to get her off the island and across the Narrows to her father. But Fable soon finds that West isn't who he seems. Together they will have to survive more than the treacherous storms that haunt the Narrows if they're going to stay alive. And I'm so excited. I'm honestly, like, I'm just so pumped. Like, I've been going charity shopping for legitimately years, and I've never found any special editions from book boxes in charity shops. And I will see other people post them on Facebook that they've got like this haul or that haul, and they've found this in charity shops, they found that in charity shops, and my jaw has always dropped because I'm like, where? How do you find these? Where do you go? We've been to charity shops in Manchester, we've been to charity shops in London, we've been to charity shops in Birmingham, we've been to charity shops in Wales, and we've never found any. And now I have so many. And I honestly think I've peaked. I don't think I need to go charity shopping anymore because I've peaked. No charity shop haul is going to be as great as this charity shop haul, which is why this is the greatest charity shop haul ever. So that is all that I have for you today. Please let me know if you have read any of these books, which your favourite one is, where you would recommend me start reading them. If you have read any of these books, please let me know what your least favourite one was, which one you would recommend that I just donate back straight away or take back and get a refund on. If it's that bad, I can do it. And again, like, yeah, if you'd like to share your thoughts on this haul, if you'd like to get excited with me, please do. We post new videos as often as we can. We've recently gone off of having a schedule, so I'm not sure when our next upload will be, but hopefully I'll see you again this week. I'm Alyce, this is The Bumbling Blogger. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you would like to, and like this video if you enjoyed it, and we will see you in a couple of days with another one. Bye! But like, look, I'm not even going to be able to fit all of these into my hand. That's how many books I hold today. We're gonna stack. Can I stack them all? Look. The best thing is Sean is book shopping while I film this. Oops. They're literally as tall as me. Uh-oh. Oh my god, I bought too many books. I'm drowning. Fuck, no, don't fall. Oh my god. Oh.